Look, Sean Penn and Madonna never made any sense. Not now, not at the time. Even ignoring all the fights and craziness, they just didn't match. Sure, Sean Penn was a young, hot, extremely talented, and successful A-list actor. But at the end of the day, still just an actor. Madonna needed a movie star.
It's me.
Enter the next man in her life, one Warren Beatty. Alongside Robert Redford, probably the last scion of the Hollywood Golden Age. Warren Beatty probably thinks the song You're So Vain is about him, and he is probably right. Clearly, he was a better fit for Madonna than Sean, even though he was like 70 years older than her. And what with now being part of a glamorous Hollywood power couple this big, clearly it was time for Madonna to take the step back into big budget filmmaking. And this would be the biggest one yet. A heavily marketed summer blockbuster comic book movie. A big screen version of the legendary pulp action hero Dick Tracy. I was too young to go see it at the time, and I still remember it being everywhere. Dick Tracy commercials, t-shirts, soundtracks, toys, video games. It was a full-blown media phenomenon. And a year later, no one would even remember it existed.
Everybody comes to Hollywood. They're gonna make it in the neighborhood.
A hand was raised in protest.
Dick Tracy, the overhyped, underperforming summer movie of 1990, the Roland Emmerich Godzilla of its day. But ignoring the box office disappointment, what is this Dick Tracy movie? Well, basically, it's Sin City, but for little kids. The end.
Dick Tracy, look out, crooks, you better break out. Cause Tracy chillin'.
Okay, I should try and explain a little more. Obviously, Sin City hadn't come out yet, but Dick Tracy is still extremely derivative. You can see the fingerprints of other big films all over it. First off, there's a lot of the untouchables in this. Square jaw, trench-coated law enforcer versus powerful Italian mob boss. But much more than that, you can see tons of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The sets and settings are really similar. I keep expecting Tracy to pull out a box of portable holes. And Madonna's character, Breathless Mahoney, is basically a live-action Jessica Rabbit.
You're right, Tracy. Why would you get mixed up with me? I'm a cheap floozy to you.
I'm not bad. I'm just not sure what my character motivations are. But more than anything, the movie Dick Tracy wants to be is Batman. Almost every single plot element is stolen from it. Comic book hero, expansive neo-gothic cartoon city, truth with pop singer soundtrack, grotesque villain played by famous over actor hamming it up to near unfathomable levels. Here, let's compare.
We will own this town.
Why you? I'll take my chances alone.
Let him go, let him go. It's still a free country.
You up there, Tracy, the chief?
Yeah, that doesn't look familiar.
What if we say no?
We'll just shake hands and that'll be it.
Hell, they even bring in Danny Elfman to do the score. Here, listen.
A hand was raised in protest. Organized crime.
Yeah, here's my impression of Danny Elfman composing the Dick Tracy theme. Woo! I am done writing! But yeah, there are worse things than being derivative, and those are all excellent movies to steal from. But still, it just disappointed all around. And even while much bigger flops like The Rocketeer have become much more beloved in hindsight, no one really brings up Dick Tracy anymore, and for good reason. If you remember this movie being any good, I hate to break it to you, but your memories are a lying son of a bitch. It stinks. Warren Beatty had never starred in a big mainstream summer action movie before, let alone directed one. He has no idea how to handle it, and the result is as driftless and confused as a big budget blockbuster gets.
Take the bad men away. They scare me.
One of the biggest problems is that Dick Tracy just isn't an interesting character.
You know, Tracy, for a tough guy, you do a lot of pansy things.
Now, Dick Tracy first got big in the 30s because it was one of the first comic strips with action and violence and stuff. Plus, it had a cavalcade of fascinatingly hideous bad guys, which is about the only thing the movie gets right. Like, the makeup work is excellent, no one's going to deny that. But Tracy himself, he's got a raincoat and a watch. No one cares about him, and Beatty certainly doesn't put much effort into making him a compelling character. Going back to Batman, remember how that movie introduced the Caped Crusader?
I'm Batman.
Awesome, right? Everyone remembers that. Look at the equivalent scene from Dick Tracy.
Better get over here right away. I'm on my way.
5 dead men, Tracy.
Everything all right, Tracy?
Fine, fine, just a little trouble downtown.
Thrill as fearless crime fighter Dick Tracy skips out on a date, looks at a thing, then makes it back to the theater in time for the third act. Non-stop action, viewers. Well, okay, the hero may be boring, but Dick Tracy always had great villains, and Beatty assembles a murderer's row of talent. Dustin Hoffman, Dick Van Dyke, Paul Sorvino, Mandy Patinkin, and while they're all pretty good, they are all overshadowed by Al Pacino as the head gangster, Big Boy Caprice.
I want them dead. Both of them. I want this no-face dead, and I want Tracy dead. What's the matter? You bums forgot how to kill people?
Pacino actually got an Oscar nomination for this role, which is amazing because, good God, he is fucking terrible. Full stop. Terrible. Casting Al, hoo-ah, say hello to my little friend Pacino, as a literal cartoon character is like throwing Charlie Sheen in a room full of hookers and cocaine. You can't be that surprised at the result. I mean...
Wait. I'm having a thought. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm gonna have a thought. It's coming. It's gone.
Yeah, it's a cartoon movie. It's supposed to be over the top, but... ooh boy, there is just nothing menacing or cool or funny about this character. He may have been going for Nicholson as the Joker, but the result was a lot more Travolta as Turl. And honestly, maybe even worse, because at least Turl shut up every once in a while.
The city! They'll never find me! Can you hear its beat? Oh, the rhythm! Happy New Year, city! A woman! A woman! A woman! I've been humiliated by a woman! I hate it! It keeps going. Let's show it! Move it! Touch it! Touch it! I want it!
Fun fact, this character originally had no dialogue. Wouldn't surprise me, at least.
Higher! Higher! Let's go! Stay back! Never stop the money! No! No! It's wrong!
Can Dick Tracy stop that dastardly Caprice from micromanaging the stage show and overworking the dancers? Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion. Horror of horrors. Big Boy is making a power play by encasing his top competitor in cement, then dropping him to a watery okay, maybe you should have let the cement dry first. Okay, whatever. The big problem more than anything is the plot. There is just zero forward motion. Nothing really comes to a head, no one's lives are at stake. It's more like 5 different issues of the comic book laid end to end in one whole movie with a structure and everything. Dick Tracy and Caprice just seem to be fighting each other because that's what they do. The first time Dick Tracy actually does anything is this ineptly shot fight scene in which he acquires an adorable Moppet sidekick. And by adorable I of course mean deeply obnoxious. Yeah, check out how well-rounded this character is.
When do we eat? When do we eat? When do we eat? When do we eat?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's his entire character. He doesn't even have a name. And he's allowed to wander around being annoying for the entire movie until the orphanage shows up to take him away.
Mr. Tracy?
Who is it?
I'm Mrs. Scaff. I'm from the welfare department.
That's not the orphanage.
Just give me 1 minute, Mr. Scaff.
I hope you understand, Mr. Tracy.
Tracy, you cannot be so dumb as to fall for this.
Mr. Scaff, if you'll just leave this situation to me.
Might as well be. This tie him to the railroad tracks bit goes beyond old-fashioned into just plain stupid. And it emphasizes the fact that, man, Tracy seems really easy to kill. I mean, I was never clear on why Caprice doesn't just kill him better the next time.
I'm rubbing him out.
You kill Tracy. They point the finger at me.
Well, that didn't stop you the first time, did it? Meanwhile, Tracy plants a bug on Caprice, starts wrecking up his business. How is Big Boy not in jail too? This movie just floats from scene to scene without any direction. Well, what about Madonna? Guess what? In this confused, damp, limp squib of a movie, this is the best performance of her career.
You can tell the truth.
You're lying. You want me the same way that I want you.
No, yeah, probably. She is actually really good in this. This is the role she was born to play, even though the character only speaks in ridiculous double entendres.
Aren't you gonna frisk me?
No grief for lips.
I'm wearing black underwear.
What kind of ice cream did you get?
Fresh peach. Better eat it right away. It's starting to run a little.
I'm getting mixed signals from her. Madonna is so damn sexy that straight arrow Dick Tracy is actually tempted to stray from his best gal, Tess.
You weren't out in the street every night risking your neck. You could have a wife. I mean, a life.
Tess, for the record, is a nagging drip, and her competition is Madonna, so there shouldn't even be a conflict, except that Tracy is kind of a drip himself.
Baby, you're mine on a platter. I always guess.
All right, Tracy, all set.
Madonna also interrupts the movie with a number of Stephen Sondheim musical numbers, even though this isn't really a musical. They're not bad songs, they're actually a lot of really good songs. It's just there's no room for them, so every time one shows up, it kills the momentum. or it would if there were any momentum to kill.
I want more.
No way out.
Have an action scene or a musical number, not both. And finally, there's this strange, faceless guy. Who is he? He offers his services to kill Tracy, then saves Tracy, then frames Tracy, then kidnaps Tess and frames Big Boy. What the living hell is his deal? What does he want? What's he working towards? Wait, let's find out who you really are!
Look at that.
That doesn't make sense!
I thought you had to pick a name.
I did.
There are a billion things wrong with this movie, but the big one is that there's no stakes or momentum, and Warren Beatty makes a shitty comic book hero. As far as Madonna movies go, it only stinks rather than sucks, so it's one of the better movies in her filmography. And you can tell Beatty was stumping his leading lady at the time, because the one thing he did succeed at was making Madonna look goddamn amazing. And while Beatty's reputation took a minor hit, Madonna would spend the next few years only getting hotter and hotter. Including in movies, because in her next project, Madonna would finally find the role that would perfectly fit all her talents. Herself.
People think that being a star is about being fabulous, being in the spotlight, having your picture taken all the time, and having everyone worship and adore you. They're absolutely right.
Truth or dare, Madonna?
Baby, you're mine on a platter. I always get my